It's no secret that the HB Direct meta is taking over Madden 26 because it's one of the most unstoppable runs in the game, and it's made even better when you know how to speed boost. But not only will we be breaking down how this Bears HB Direct Y-off trip scheme works and the pass options players use out of it, but also the run shoots you can use to slow it down.
Then you got to shoot.
Now this breakdown will be in a high level competitive game versus a pro player named Bugs. And as usual, this match that we're breaking down had over $5,000 staked on it on 1v1me.com. More on them later. What's good, Solosimo 2 family? I know it's been a bit, but we got another great one in store for you today, going against the fierce Bugatti Bugs and his Bears Y-off trips, aka HB Direct offense. Now, the cool thing about this video is I'm going to be going over exactly how he runs his offense and how you can also defend it from our favorite formation, the nickel 3-3 double mug. So as you can see, I'm in the nickel 3-3 double mug. Now, the cool thing that Bugs does in this offense is he comes out very often in the Y off, I don't know why I decided to write this, trips, weak, okay? Now, what the weak means is his running back is going to be opposite his tight end. Now, this has perhaps the absolute best passing plays of any Y-off trips in the game. The reason being is because he has access to stick and nod, which gives him this nice short corner. It also has Y-off trio weak, so he really gets the full arsenal, but he'll run this with a slant and a return. If you guys remember sticking up from years past, this has been a staple in Madden for a very, very long time. But he also has the ability to run like outside zone, inside zone, and a lot of the times you'll see like streak, drag, post, right? That's essentially what Y-off trio consists of, but the really unique play that Bugs uses quite a lot is he'll put a slot fade on this player, but stem it up 2 times, and then have him obviously go on the slot fade. But the reason he stems it up 2 times is it makes it harder for the outside corner to guard a C route on the outside receiver. So you're going to see a little bit of that. Overall, Bugs attacks the field really well in this formation, and then out of nowhere, he'll just audible to Y-off trips. And we're going to try to stop that. We're going to try to stop the HB Direct, and we're going to try to stop all of the really annoying plays he has in his arsenal. And how are we going to do that? Well, you might have guessed. And that is a little bit of match, right? That's our favorite thing in the game. I did the Trump hands there, but it really is our favorite type of coverage in the game because it allows you to maintain your leverage on some of these really annoying routes. So in this case, we man up the tight end because he's usually on a post or a drag or a slant, something like that. So we man him up and we have leverage to the inside. This quarter flat will destroy any return routes coming from R1. And then this outside corner, despite being in an outside quarter, right? So that's his zone, a quarter. He's going to do a really good job at playing drag routes, right? So if this guy goes on a drag, he's going to actually stick on him really, really well. So that's obviously a huge benefit. But this isn't our base shell. It is something that we really like. But the other reason I really like this shell is because this outside corner and this safety will do a good job at bracketing this post, right? So overall, it does really well against the base combos. So as far as pass game goes, we feel like we're in a good spot, but unfortunately, he is utilizing the Seattle Seahawks. Now, outside of maybe the Lions, this is the best team for this offense. You got 94 speed Kenneth Walker with above 90 change of direction. He could speed boost. He's a great high overall running back. So outside of Gibbs and outside of some gadget players, this dude or this scheme is best with the Seahawks. So you're going to see right here, immediately goes to Y-off trips. Whenever he goes to Y-off trips, he's going to run inside zone or he's going to run HB direct, right? And you're going to see a little bit of the things that I'm doing to try to counter that. So I pull out my linebacker out of the double mug alignment. So now he's a little bit elevated. And in the first game, because this is Bugs game 1, so this is the first game that we played against him, you could see I am on the outside hip of the defensive tackle. Now, in the second game, you're going to see me switch it. And the reason I switch it is for which you're going to see what happens in the first game, right? So because I'm here, oftentimes you can get in through the gap, right? Right through here and make the tackle. But sometimes you can't, especially to the right of the field. So you're going to see Bugs is probably going to run HB direct here. We might shoot it. As you can see, I kind of delayed. This happens occasionally. If you ever pass commit, you guys probably don't know this. I didn't really know this for sure until, I want to say, a week or so ago. If you pass commit, yeah, your players do run slower, which you guys are aware of. And yeah, they'll lose their run block engagements which you're probably aware of. But your user gets a slow jump off the snap pretty much every time. Unless maybe you user lock, your user gets a slow jump off the snap. And I think that may have happened right there. You can see I was kind of frozen for a moment. But we are going to try to make this tackle with 6'3", 6'4" JL Skinner. Oh my goodness. But he's still got a huge amount of yards because once again, he has Kenneth Walker and it's HB Direct, right? So that's something we have to be acutely aware of, that we may not have the speed to catch up if we don't shoot the guy. So right here, we're getting outside zone, right? We're trying to set up a blitz on the right of screen. He's going to run outside zone and the screen's going to glitch a little bit, but nonetheless, he got a few yards out of it. A very dangerous run. Because when you're busy overcommitting to inside zone, if he's able to speed burst and get that nice little downward speed burst and out with Kenneth Walker, my defense really has no chance. The Broncos has a little bit of speed. I think we have a 93 and a 94 speed, but not enough to catch a speed boosting Kenneth Walker by any means. Now, 2nd and 7, we're not thinking it's a rundown, so we're calling match. But in this case, our match includes 2 man-ups. So maybe I'm going to show my player out one more time. So it looks like this. The only reason we do this is because if we leave the quarter here, although it's better for some things, if Boogs were to streak this player and I leave the quarter, he can pass lead it outside because the quarter matches late, and then the slot corner would be responsible for R1, which obviously isn't great because Shaheed is 95 speed and my slot corner here is Moss 91, right? So he'll just run by him. And the safety matches late. So if we man him up, we can kind of prevent that. It has its weaknesses to do this, but it obviously has that main benefit. You don't want to give up a big play. So what is Boogs doing here? Audibling to direct. We're once again on the outside hip of this defensive tackle. You can see I'm here. I'm on the outside of the defensive tackle. And sometimes this will let me shoot inside. Other times it will not let me shoot inside. So take a quick look here. You're going to see he's probably going to run direct. And there's a gap here, but it's tight, right? Everyone on the offensive line is attacking to the right. Now, sometimes you could sneak in, but as you can see, he just boosted out, right? And he's going to boost again. We're going to make this tackle. Actually, no, we're not. We're not going to make the tackle. And you can see, that's why HB Direct is so dangerous. You hit one boost, you hit another boost, and then you're gone, right? So even though I thought I had the run shoot for it, it appears that I really did not in this first game. So yeah, he's kicking his PAT and is a 7-7 game at this point because we simply could not stop HB Direct. He barely had to pass. Before we jump back into the game, let me tell you about the resource top players are using to stay way ahead of the curve in Madden 26. That resource is victoryformation.gg, currently home to 13 complete game plans and 100+ elite tips. Not to mention that our members are consistently dominating online, crushing their league competition, and some members are winning hundreds of dollars in tournaments. So not only do you get access to everything I use, but also schemes and tips from other pros and content creators. So if you're ready to join the winning team and get access to everything, you can get your first month for only $11.95 using code SWOLO. So we respond with a touchdown, and luckily for us, and I mean luckily, we only leave 58 seconds. Now, this is really key, and this is just a basic football idea. You can see he's coming out in Y off trio there. But the idea here is that if someone has very little time, especially if they're in a run for a scheme, it becomes very difficult for them to run the ball. Because every time they run the ball and stay in bounds, the clock continues to run. And because Boogs has no timeouts, absolutely none, and there's 58 seconds left, we're going to see a lot less of the HB Direct inside zone, and we could focus on him passing the football, okay? So we're going to see he's in Y off trio, his main passing form, and we are in our base match shell with the man up for the reason I explained before. So he snaps the ball, hits us with outside zone. Very scary. Now keep in mind, Boogs has a pretty good speed burst, but if I was playing an OG2K, a Hexseed, a Gelato, guys who really have mastered the speed burst and that run first sort of play style, they would have speed bursted back and then up and then down and up, down and up. And this would be a score. Like 100% of the time, if I'm playing one of those guys, this would be a score. Now, Boogs has good run stick, so maybe he cuts inside here, but he's probably going to run into this safety, right? So you can see he tries to cut inside because that's the right thing to do if speed burst isn't a thing. But with speed burst being in the game, obviously having your safety there is not going to help. If someone's got a really good speed burst, they'll just speed burst outside. And some people are so good, they kind of do like a ski burst, right? You'll see some players do that as well. So keep all of that in mind. Right here, we're just in a base defense. We don't want to overcomplicate things. Boogs appears to be running a wheel, drag, crosser, streak, and it looks like a PA, right? So you're going to see we have everything pretty well covered, but unfortunately, Jackson Smith in Jigba, the Emerald City route artist, we had a cloud flat on, we didn't have a hard flat, so he was able to throw beneath him, right? So once again, he's back on offense, 40 seconds left. You can see he's passing first. This is what I mean. He's not as comfortable running the ball, and if he does, he wants to get out of bounds, right? So right here, we're sending a blitz. We're overloading the right side of the field. Now we're doing something relatively new. I kind of wanted to make a dedicated video on it. I talked about it a little bit in my last defensive video. We're doing the mini loop. So instead of user locking and pressing left on the D-pad, then the right bumper, and holding down on the left stick, right? Like many of you are probably already doing, and I did for 90% of the year, not 90%, but 75% of the year. This is good. This is good. But if someone is half sliding or untargeting or doing any sort of protection, chances are, let me highlight here, this player is going to be untargeted. And if he does blitz, he's just going to run straight into this guard, just straight into the guard. And then the overload is completely picked up. No overload for us. However, if we mini loop, so we push the stick straight in the direction of the overload. So not down, can't really, I don't want my fingers covered. So not down, but directly towards the overload. So in this case, it's coming from the right of the screen. So we push it straight to the right. So we user lock, left on D-pad, right bumper, and then we push it in the direction of the overload, straight to the right. What's going to happen is on snap, he's going to go out. And then when you D-pad off, now in my case, I have paddles on my controller that allow me to D-pad down. So the left here, it's probably reversed on your screen. So my left hand can D-pad down to whoever is closest to the line of scrimmage, which 90% of the time is this player. Or I'll claw. So I'll kind of user lock, hold here, and then I'll be ready to D-pad to an outside corner. And then this one is up if I ever want to get on a safety. The up one's inconsistent. I'm hoping it's more consistent next year. Now that we've broken down what I'm doing, what it does is if they set any protection, or if they're in base or empty, so if they do nothing or they set protection, this player will loop around into the A gap, right? Won't happen every time, and if he doesn't, usually this player can come in. The key thing here is if you really want to counter the protections, the head of your player, don't get any ideas, the head, the actual helmet, needs to be to the right of this center, because this will make sure that the half slide cannot work against this. Otherwise, your guy's going to go out, and then he's going to run straight into the guard, okay? So that's what I just want to point out when I'm blitzing. Maybe we'll see him come in a few times throughout this game. And if he sets no protection, he just base pro empty, this guy just comes in clean, just like you normally would, okay? So I figured it's important to mention that. This is not just a counter protection for pros. This will work every time, okay? So anyways, hopefully Boog snaps the ball here. You can see there, right there, I did it. He looped. He's clearly set a protection. I looped. And now my player is running through an open hole, right? So that's the double mug mini loop that I think is so, so good that I will probably make a dedicated video on, or it'll probably just be in a defensive video. So you're also seeing something Boogs did on this play that I mentioned earlier, right? So I'm going to go back just a little bit, and this is one of Boogs' favorite combos. So he has a streak on his tight end, a slot fade, stemmed up to pull an outside third, right? Then he has this player on a zero. This is open a lot of the time, but here, my guy's zone chucking, he's a curl flat. So he can't actually throw it versus a curl flat. He tries, and he should have probably thrown a pick, but we were able to swat the ball down, right? So 35 seconds left, 2nd and 10. He has to pass the ball. He's going to try to get into field goal range at the absolute minimum, being only about 15 yards away from it, okay? So let's get back to it. Let me hit the play button here. And you're going to see he's going to run another pass. And then this is a staple, right? So this looks like streak, 4 verticals, crosser or post, drag, speed table. Now, I might not be able to get to this speed table. I do wonder if he throws it. He does not. And we're kind of hovering in between. Now, what we're doing a lot, especially when we run match, and you're going to see this drag is kind of covered. Unfortunately, this is 89 speed versus Jackson Smith, who has, I think, 91 plus. Might be 92 or 93, don't quote me. And obviously is higher route running. So even though it's match, we have a safety that's slow. It's Hufanga there. He's not going to do great. But we're going to be able to cut this off if he decides to throw it. We're going to see here, hit play. He decides to throw it. We cut it off. But we do not get the knockout. Now, this is something that I think is really annoying. Just in Madden in general. If you ever get a good animation from one guy, right? So I got a good knockout animation from the backside player. But then it turns into a 2-man animation, pause. If it does turn into that multiplayer animation, it feels like the game just changes it. right? And it does change. It doesn't feel like it. It does change the animation to either a single player animation with the guy who just hit him, the intervening player, the second player, or what it does is it creates a 2-man animation, which I feel like there's no knockouts for that, right? So it's a little annoying. I wish it maintained the knockout if the defense is in a good position. I hope that changes a little bit for Madden 27. I haven't been able to test it extensively, though I was, luckily, thank you, in Chicago to test the game. I only played it for a couple hours. A lot of really, really great changes. If you want to subscribe to a channel, self-plug here, this is the one for Madden 27 because there's so many defensive and offensive changes that we are able to make, counter, and this channel will literally be perfect. So right there, we just ran send to man. And next year, we're going to have custom adjustments. So send to man will be one button away. And I know a lot of you, especially guys who can't play, 2-3 hours a day and memorize literally every single adjustment. And it's difficult. And I know that. And sometimes I may come across a little bit like, yeah, just do this, right? And a lot of pros can come across that way. A lot of people in general come across that way. But I do recognize that it can be difficult to make all those custom adjustments or those individual adjustments. Let's just call them that for now. The quick adjustments is the actual term. Next year, we won't have to worry about that pretty much, right? To some degree, we will, but it'll be so much better. So I'm really excited. I'll be able to adjust faster. You guys will be able to adjust faster. And everything that I show on this channel will be 10 times better. And I will never, ever, hopefully, get a comment again that says, hey, couldn't get this off. They're just quick snapping me. Well, you should have a macro then. And I'll show you to set your macros. Okay, anyways, let's move on to the second half when Bugs gets the ball back.
If you like competitive Madden and want to make real money predicting matches, then look no further than 1v1 Me. Because not only can you watch live games, but you can stake on game outcome. With lots of options, including flash stakes, game spreads, and point totals, there's always action on the app. Some stakers are even making thousands of dollars on single slips, with top stakers making over $1 million simply using their knowledge of competitive gaming. Check it out at 1v1.me/Swolosimo or use code Swolosimo on sign up for a $25 no sweat stake.
So we're now in the second half. Bugs is in Y off trio, okay? And once again, we are going to be overloading and mini looping this Y off trio. One of my favorite blitzes in the game. We're just running a cover 3 on the left, cover 2 on the right. Really, really basic. And it looked like he untargeted someone, and my defensive tackle comes in completely clean. I click on and I go for the tackle. If I didn't click on, guaranteed he would have got a pretty massive gain. Now on 2nd and 14, we are going to run probably our basic match shell. Yeah, I had a feeling. It's almost like I'm the one playing. And this is really effective. Ignore the lawnmower outside. I pray that you guys can't hear it. But you're going to see that we have the tight end manned up, just like before. This player manned up. And then if this guy goes on a drag or an in, he'll be pretty well covered. This guy will get matched pretty well, bracketed pretty well. And then we're just D-padding to this quarter flat. So this one's actually a pretty basic coverage. It's 1 man up, 2 man ups, right? And then we outside, because this is nickel dog meg and nickel 3-3 double mug in the Bengals playbook. But we put this guy in a quarter. So it really is 3 adjustments, though I shade outside. That makes it 4 adjustments. Then I route commit inside on the tight end. That makes it 5 adjustments. And that's about it. I think I route commit inside on this player because I think he's going to be on post. That can make it 6. And I know it can sometimes be very, very difficult to make 6 adjustments. And next year, hopefully, won't be hard. And I don't think it will be hard. I'm really excited. So anyways, you're going to see switch to the quarter flat here. This player wins. Once again, it's in Jigba, right? It's really annoying because he's going to get beat here. We're covering the slant. We're kind of bracketing this player. The in route's completely bagged, which is nice by our outside quarter. This streak route is completely bagged because it's pretty much doubled by the quarter flat in the inside quarter. But the really cool thing is this inside quarter is essentially looking for work, right? To some degree, right? Not to the extent it will be in Madden 27, College Football 27, but he will match this post. And you're going to see right here, he does not match the post. But a lot of the times he will, right? Right there, he doesn't. We switch here. We switch off this drag and pull up. It looks like we're in the perfect spot, but no eyes, no pick. If I strafed, maybe we would have got a jump. But you're going to see we were not able to get an animation. My guy just took his hand out there. Sometimes that inside quarter will match. And trust me, in Madden 27, these guys will do their job. And if they don't, we will have the adjustments to make them do their job. So, unfortunately, he does this. Now, he's in Y off trips here. He audible to it. This is HP Director inside zone. We're on the outside hip. On the left, HP Direct is just not as good. I'll be honest. It's very good, but not as good as it is to the right. Much easier to shoot. You can see, boom, I sprint in the gap. All I did here, this is just double mug base, and I'm sitting on the outside hip of the defensive tackle. To the left, this is like 100%, right? We shoot it, and now he has to respect that we can stop that HP Direct, at least to the left, right? So right here, we're in a cover 2. Now, this is a cover 2 with a couple extra adjustments. Instead of a mid-read, I man up the tight end because I want him to carry across the field. We hard flat this guy, and that's about it, right? The reason being is because, once again, this guy's almost always on a post or a streak, right? And if he's ever on a corner, surprisingly, this player recovers really well, like really well, even if you route commit inside. And if he is on a corner, he's going to run into a cloud anyway, so it's not a big deal. This is just a good defense. The only thing we have to worry about is Shaheed on a streak. Pass led inside. So if he goes in this area, he could be throwing a touchdown. I will be 100% honest when I say that, right? So we're in a cover 2, man up the tight end, and we deep pad to the hook. We're kind of playing this post here, right? We're on it. Then we're playing the slant. This is very old school user. It almost like we're playing nothing. I remember a user or someone saying this in a broadcast. It's true. If he threw either of these, he probably would have them open, especially if he were to highball. But it's too scary to commit because I could commit to this or I could commit to the post, right? So my user's actually in a really good position. And right here, he does decide to throw the post because I did hesitate, and he gets himself a very massive gain and then speed bursts. That's the Seahawks. Every single player on the Seahawks can speed burst. So if he gets in the open field, we are just not in a good spot, I'll be honest. So a great touchdown by Bugs, really good drive. Cover 2 obviously got cooked pretty bad there. Makes you wish I had the mid-read, right? Now this is really funky. Bugs actually is going to hit me with a fake field goal here that I had forgot about until I skipped past it. And I was in field goal safe, man. I'm always in field goal safe, man. You're never really going to hit a fake field goal on me, I'll be honest. I'm not trying to block your PAT because it's next to impossible. So there's no point for me to be in field goal block, right? So yeah, I'm never going to give that up. So anyways, let's go to when Bugs is back on offense. So Bugs is back on offense, down 8 this time, third quarter, 11 seconds left. Now I will also say this, just like with the time left in the game, he doesn't want to drain out the clock because if he does, chances are I'll have the last drive. And if he doesn't score, he's screwed. So he's going to run the ball a little bit, but definitely less than you might expect. So right here, this looks like he's going to run HP Direct. We run through the gap, shoot it, right? To left, he's just not running it on us. So I want to break down how I'm shooting it because it's really important. This video is HP Direct themed because that is, you know, the fundamental play in this offense. So I'm in spread line in this video. I'll show you the next video. It's a little different. It's a little better. Not next video, but next game. You're going to see right here, this is spread line double mug. I'm pinching my line actually. So it's pinch line double mug. That's all it is. I grab my linebacker and I'm trying to run through the C gap. So this is the A, this is the B, this is the C. But the majority of the time, this guard will pull out and sometimes you'll also run through the B. So you're going to see based on where the guard is, guard goes out. So now I'm running through the B gap, right? So A, B, you're running through the B gap. It's pretty much straight down based on that position. And you're going to see the hole's going to open up and we are going to be able to dive and shoot this in the backfield. Really, really basic. It's just spread line, double mug, sit in the C gap. But once that guard pulls out, you run straight down, dive tackle him, and make sure he gets no yards running that HP Direct, okay? So 2nd and 14, we are in probably match, to be honest. If I were to take a strong guess, yeah, this is the match shell. You know, the one man up, match, match, match. And we are on the running back. Everything looks like it's about to be caged here. It is. He throws the drag. He might have gotten a few yards there, but we do swat it down. So 3rd and 14, he needs a big play. And what do? We're blitzing. We're going to use that same mini loop tactic. We're overloading the left. So what I called here, this is buck zone blitz. I shaded outside. I curl flatted this player. So 1, 2. I vert hooked this player. 3. Cloud flat, deep half. 5 adjustments. I also blitzed all my linebackers much earlier. So it really is 6 adjustments. So 6 total adjustments, right? We're blitzing off the left and we're going to mini loop like that. And what you're going to see here is once he snaps the ball, we're going to loop. And you can see, here he comes. He's looping. We deep pad to this vert hook this time to try and go play the post. We're not really worried about this swing route. This route could get open, but you're going to see, let's hit play here. We are not covering the slant, but the slant is running directly into this cloud. Looks like he's throwing the ball. Might be to him. Yeah, he threw the slant directly at the cloud. Maybe it was a drag that got bumped. Cloud didn't animate. and he somehow, some way gained 9 yards, right? So he threw it right at us there, but we unfortunately didn't animate. It is regs. We can't expect that much. We don't have zone KOs. We can't expect, our players to play at an insane level. But nonetheless, we get him to a 4th and 2. This is when we were starting to debut the concept that Goose Guy, if you guys are familiar with him, told me I should be doing. And it's always sending 2 off the right. Now, why is this good? Well, it forces the quarterback away from their throwing hand, right? And he has to throw to the strong side of the field. Most of the time, there's more space. Wow, that was meant to write SS, strong side, right? Doesn't really help. We'll call it wide side because SS can mean short side. The reason being is because most of his routes, he's usually going to be attacking the wide side. So this part of the field, right? So they're on the left hash. It's going to be the right side of the field, right? If he's forced to the left because we're sending 2 off the right, that obviously closes those windows quite a lot for him. And on top of that, it doesn't allow him to roll to his throwing hand side. So it forces him to the left once again. In this case, that's what we're trying to set up. I don't do this anymore. I think it actually confuses the adjustments too much. And then these players bump into each other too much. Just not super good, but it is something to consider. So I'm hook curling the right, hard flatting the right. I'm going to D-pad to this hard flat. I'm going to spy this player. And we are sending Nick Benito off the right of screen. So what you're going to see, hopefully I spy him. Yeah, we do. There we go. Just send 2 man. You can see they kind of bump. We're on the inside third, or we're on the hard flat. My apologies. We're covering everything pretty well. The post is open for a moment. You're going to see as he gets over the hook curl here, you're going to see the post will be open. But as long as we can get a little bit of pressure, it won't be. We're still on the drag, but you can see we're forcing him to the left. So this is good for us, making the window harder. But you're going to see Injigma Headbid just destroying Hufunga on that route. So I had hard flats on instead of curl flats. If I had curl flats, it would have been a lot better, but it was 4th and 2. So obviously I'm not, or the majority of the time, I'm not going to have curl flats on trying to play that deeper threat. So 1st and 10 at the 41 after he hits that post, and we're in a cover 2 to the left and a cover 3 to the right. Really, really simple. We're going to D-pad to this hard flat so we can't throw a table. And overall, that's the basics of it, right? Man up the tight end. We get on that hard flat, tight end's on a wheel. He's probably going to have this player for a pretty big gain. Because now with this hard flat, I'm going to have to cover this player coming across the field. I'm going to have to cover this player coming across the field. And then I have to make sure that he doesn't throw this table. So overall, I guarantee you he has something open here. He does, but he throws probably the little bit more covered item there. That was the delay route that he has in Y-off trips or Y-off show week. That one's actually unguardable, right? So in trips X nasty, the one on the wide side can be guarded by, certain hook curls. On the short side, it can't. In this formation, not Y-off trips, so Y-off trio week, can't be guarded, right? So anyways, you're going to see, once again, on that outside hip, I'm going to try to shoot down. Hopefully we can get one good rep of it, and you can see, just didn't work. And he's going to speed burst. We try to make the tackle. He breaks it. Speed burst again. Just doesn't matter, right? That's why HP Direct is so punishing. Because if your opponent is able to, they can, if they break a tackle or if they get to that outside, they are pretty much unstoppable. Now he's going to go for 2 here because he is down 2 points. He wants to tie this game, right? So he's going to be in the Y-off trips week. Again, he's got Jalen Milrow in case if he wants to scramble. We're just going to cover 2. Cover 2, we're going to play that delay route. So we have that manned up. And we're just going to make sure that they can't throw anything, no returns, no things like that, right? Unfortunately, however, the return is open. Wide open. Completely wide open because I was expecting the delay route from the outside receiver. He actually put the return on the inside receiver and dotted us. So 21-21, just like that. Now, 3rd and 8, you could see he has no timeouts, 1 minute and 18 seconds left. Just a little bit of an offensive kind of grab here. We throw a table route and J.K. Dobbins falls forward. We get a first down, and just like that, we end up winning the game because now we can just clock the game and kick our 3 points. And we ended up winning it, right? He almost blocked it. He almost blocked the PAT or the field goal there. That could have been so bad if he had blocked that field goal. My reaction was pretty insane to that. But you're going to see right here, he ends up pretty much blocking it. Books might have the best block ever, but right there, he does not block it. And we do end up winning this game. So let's move to game 2 and how we adjusted and how we work to stop that HP Direct. Game 2 versus Boogs. All right, now what are we doing differently to make sure we don't get gashed by that HP Direct again? And you're going to see it. You're actually going to see it in the first iteration. So 1st and 10, we're in match, and you're going to see he audibles to Y-off trips just like before, and he's going to run HP Direct or inside zone for that matter. Now you're going to see
What we do here is we pinch our defensive line and we crash down. So they're pinched and crash down, and we're going to contain as well. We're also going to sit on the inside hip here of the defensive tackle. This is going to allow me to loop in and come in even cleaner than before against HB Direct. Now, I believe on the first rep, he runs inside zone. So if he ran HB Direct, it would have been amazing. But he's actually untargeting our user, knowing that we're gunning for HB Direct. Now, this is another problem we are going to have to face and have to lab and have to figure something out for, which I believe we have a solution for now. But nonetheless, inside zone becomes an issue. And this is part of the reason this scheme is just so effective, right? Inside zone is so good. HB Direct is so good. And the passing offense in Bears, you have normal Y off close. You have a solid bunch X nasty. You have Y off trio week. You have Y off trips week. And then obviously the runs, right? So super, super effective formation in general, or offensive playbook in general. Now he's in Y off trips. He audibles. He was in Y off trio. Then he audibles to Y off trips. You can see once again we're on the inside hip. Now if he doesn't untarget us, this player comes in free. If he doesn't make any sort of adjustments, that defensive tackle will come in completely clean, literally no matter what. But if he untargets us and he runs inside zone, he's gonna get us, right? But HB Direct, we're just gonna loop and come in and tackle him in the backfield. So you're going to see here, snaps the ball, we loop in, tackle him in the backfield, right? It's right there. To the left, it's usually not too bad. I will admit that. To the left of the screen, it's not too bad to stop HB Direct. Now we're in that match shell that I showed you guys before, you know, moving around. We're going to try to switch to this player to go and play the post, right? But I think we might just be a bit too late, and we weren't able to completely change his direction. We are seeing it though, and you're going to see seeing that post and switching like that does have its advantages. You'll see throughout the game. But nonetheless, 1st and 10, 23-yard line. We're still in that match. We're still trusting it. We're not worried about a streak, you know, this close. We instantly switch to the quarter flat. This player's manned up. This player is matched. This player is likely on a streak, I believe. And then this player is on a drag. Chances are, though, that drag will end up getting open. You're going to see he throws the slant. He throws it right at us because he does get bumped. This is right at Baron. Baron just needs to catch it. And he doesn't, right? Because it was just an overthrow. Truth be told, that slant was getting open, but it is a very, very difficult read for our opponent to make, okay? So keep that in mind. Now, right here, we're going to mini loop. We are going to try to blitz him. We're going to D-pad either to this hard flat on the left and pull in, or this vert hook and pull in, right? To try to cover a drag, short post, things like that. Right here, we mini loop, but we kind of get stuck. And you're going to see he hits the post, or he almost hits the post. We almost switch it, and we move on to 3rd and 10. So it's a basic blitz, basic zone shell. Blitz didn't come in. We do switch the post, but he does pass lead it in a way that we just couldn't get it. So back-to-back plays, could have probably got picks, right? We'll be honest here. We could have probably got picks. Right here, send 2 man. Really just a staple of the double mug, because you send 2 off one side, curl flat, spy, hook, curl flat, inside third, shade outside. The middle of the field's kind of guarded, the sideline's guarded, and you just have to worry about this area with your user because you're D-padding to this player, right? Honestly, send 2 man is just so good. It's a great 3rd down defense. Great 4th down defense because it has the possibility of bagging everything. Once again, it's man across the board with those extras. Once again, this is a curl flat, spy, hook, curl flat, inside third, shade outside so we don't get hit with the streak, okay? And you're going to see we're just going to play these things. Boom, boom. We're on literally everything. We're on the slant. We're on the table. It's really easy for you, and you could depend on the one player that gets a one-on-one, which is the same if you think about it, if you send 4 and contain, right? But the one player that gets a one-on-one can often win, especially if he's a high overall edge threat like Nick Benito. So 4th and 10 right here. We are running a blitz. We pull inside with our hard flat to take away this slant, and you're going to see, boom, we take away the slant. Then we try to take away the post, but he throws the backside in, or backside drag. He gets himself a 1st down. Can't cover everything on a blitz. Wish the blitz came in clean there. You're going to see kind of get stuck. So if you're in that wrong spot that I mentioned before, your guy goes out, and then he goes in, and then he comes in, or he doesn't come in at all, right? You're going to see we come in, but not fast enough, and he's able to step away from the pressure. So he gets that 1st down. We get stuck with an encroachment, but you're going to see right here, we're going to try to blitz him again. This is just a send 6. I'm going to try to get on the deep half. Boom. He audibles to HB Director inside zone. We're on that inside hip. We're going to try to shoot it, and we do try to shoot it, but we get bumped. occasionally that can happen. It sucks. We get bumped, and as you might imagine, screen's kind of lagging, but HP Direct was a one-play score, right? From the 6-yard line. One-play score sounds like it's a bomb, but he did end up scoring on HP Direct. So we did have an answer for Direct, and we were playing great past the step every single time. We could have got 3 picks in a row if we were in the proper position, or if the ball just moved just a little bit, or, you know, our guy's animated where he got the ball off. But overall, he did convert on that sequence right before in the red zone, so he ended up scoring pretty easily. Now, Boogs back on offense. He's in normal Y off close. Now, this is once again why I mentioned Bears is so good, because he's probably going to run PA snag, slant, post, drag, streak, table, right? Very, very common combo. And normal Y off close is just a good formation. This was the meta in Madden 25. When people didn't have slot fades, people didn't have all these fancy routes, returns. This was the best formation in the game because it was so hard to switch stick. And if you did, you could get punished at a very high clip, right? If you switch down and there's a streak, if you switched a corner and this was a fade, you get punished. That's why it was so meta. But you have it in Bears, and Bears is pretty good because of it. You have this, Y off trio, Y off trips, bunch X nasty. We're running just cover 2 to the right, cover 3 to the left. Now, this is really smart. I could spend a long time talking about this, but most people against doubles and normal Y off close are running a cover 3, keeping their nickel corner on the tight end side because there's more receivers there. It's the smarter thing to do. Although it's against the auto flip, it's the smarter thing to do. That usually means it's a cover 2 on this side. And against double mug, realistically, the only player in a hard flat, unless they're expecting this, is the linebacker, who can't get here. No matter what, he can't get there. Meaning, he calls this RPO, it's a one-on-one block here, and all he has to worry about is the safety. It's like a guaranteed 5 yards. Because you can effectively guess that it's going to be a cover 2 very frequently when they're in the same alignment that I was in. And you can see, boom, 10 yards, just like that. It was the easiest yards of his life. So that's something to keep in mind if you're ever running normal YF close or doubles flex YF close. That RPO is very effective when players are not respecting the doubles or the 2 receiver side of the field, right? You can hit that a lot because it's going to be a cover 2. Right here, we're in match. D-pad, everything's covered. This is 4 verticals. He runs a streak, drag, crosser, streak. Everything's guarded, but here's the thing about 4 verticals. This running back is in a delay route, a delay in, and this can be really punishing. But unfortunately, he's stuck in a block, and when he goes to throw it, he gets bumped, and he's not able to hit it. But that could have been perhaps a one-play score, okay? So definitely keep that in mind. It is absolutely insane. So right here, we're just dealing with bunch X nasty. That's what I mean. Bears is really good. This is how OG2K won the Red Hot Gaming $20,000 prize or $40,000 tournament, but he won first and he got 20K. Running Bears like this, running Y off, bunch X, normal. Like, it's just so good. It has so much, right? So ignore me skipping all the vowels there, but nonetheless, it is just such a good formation. I'm running a basic shell that I like against bunch X. Right, he has a crab route, probably the most important route you can have if you're in bunch X. And you're going to see he hits it to Kenneth Walker. We go for a dive, and he gains 6 yards, even though we kind of were expecting it, right? Because it's Kenneth Walker. Right here, we're in a cover 2. This is actually, I'm pretty proud of myself for this one. You could probably tell by my face. It's rare that someone attacks the flat here. Occasionally, they'll put a wheel on tight end, but not often. What they do attack is this part of the field, and they also, late in the play, will attack the deeper hook part of the field. So these 2 spots, right? So this post across the field attacks the deep hook. You'll also find that players will put returns on, attacks the short hook, drags, attacks the short hook. So overall, you want to have respect for both. And then other times, players will attack above these hooks, right? So here's what I do. I am in a cover 3, technically on this side of the field, shaded outside with my hook curl. So I just shade outside. Cover 2 on the left, hard flat here, right? Very basic. But then I put a vert hook on this player and stem him up. So now I'm essentially mabling the hook zones. So when he does inevitably attack the middle of the field, we are safe in that regard. So actually, I'm wrong. I'm shading down. So I shade down, and then I bring this guy up. Since we're using this player, it's easy for us to play the tight end and the post early. So in this area of the field, this like box, we can cover the drag, we can pull up to the post. And then once the post crosses us, we're able to play this drag coming across. This player will pass him off because he's shaded down, And then we don't have to worry about the post until very, very late in the play, because this hook is going to guard it for this part of the field. So you're going to see right there, my shaded down hook on the right didn't get outside far enough, but you can see the logic. I'm going to run this probably a considerable amount. Right here, he's in Y off trips. We go to shoot it. Right there, we kind of get bumped, but nonetheless, he was not able to get a huge gain despite all of our players kind of being there, right? So here we are, double mug again. We're sending heat, second and inches. I think that's a great time to send heat because third and inches, it's going to be hard to stop him anyway, right? You might as well try to get him to a third and long. So we send heat. He blocks his running back. And right here, he's going to try to throw this slanter, this post. We're instantly deep-padding here to go play one of them. I believe we committed to, covering neither of them pretty much, right? So if your blitz doesn't come in and they block the running back, that's the risk that you take, right? But first and 10 can sometimes be better than second and inches. I know that sounds odd, but sometimes it can be, for the defense, that is. You're going to see right here, we're just in cover 3 to the right, cover 2 to the left. Now, we're worried about the RPO this time, so we did hard flat this player because he did hit us with that for 10 yards. So we're in a pretty basic defense still. We are covering everything. Right here, he hits that right under our user and gets himself another first down. So Boogs is moving. He's passing the ball effectively now. Early in the game, definitely wouldn't say that, but now he's doing a pretty good job. Now we try to mini loop here. We get stuck. Zach Allen insta sheds though, so we are going to get a bit of pressure, and this post is open if he has time, but if he did throw that, probably would have been a pick straight to the vert hook there. But nonetheless, second and 10, right? It feels like every pass he doesn't get off could have been a pick, and every pass he does is like the perfect pass, right? I know you guys probably feel that way sometimes. So right here, this is cover 2 man. Shade outside, curl flat, spy, hook curl, curl flat. We're using this curl flat. So we use the hook curl before the snap, and then we D-pad to the curl flat. We let the hook curl do its job, okay? So we switch to a cover 2. We're thinking HB direct. Pinch, crash down, sit on the inside hip. He calls inside zone. It's not the best defense, I'll be honest. The focus of this video is how good the offense is. It's not the best defense, right? Great versus direct. Great. I feel very confident versus direct. But when they mix it on inside zone and they start on targeting, it can be a little tough. Right? So especially against a good player who knows what they're doing, can target the right players, and can speed boost. So anyways, let's get back to Boogs. Now, unfortunately for us, we threw a pick, and Boogs got the ball in our red zone very early in the third quarter. So in this case, we're calling match. He runs the ball. We come in completely clean. When we spread our line, we've noticed that our defensive tackle just comes in completely clean against that outside zone. So that's something we've been sort of paying attention to and knowing that, okay, he can't run, outside zone on us when we spread our line. So we've been doing that quite a bit. Now right here, we're just in basic match, right? Super, super basic. We man up the tight end. We put a quarter here, just a basic cover 4 quarters. We switch the outside corner. Now we wanted the quarter flat, but it put us right through him because we got stuck on the line. Luckily though, the quarter flat is still on the field. So we're able to switch to him and play the post. So sometimes a mistake can end up really helping you and you get an insane switch, right? So we do get the ball back pretty quick. Let's get back to Boogs after he threw that pick. Now we do score on our next drive and Boogs is back on offense. Now, as I mentioned before, players, when they're in a scheme like this and they're down, it's much harder for them to succeed because they don't want you to be the last person with the ball. So they don't want to clock. And if they do clock, they know they have to clock the entire 5 minutes, my 3 timeouts, and the 2-minute warning, which is very difficult, especially if you haven't played elite level offense thus far this game. Right here, he calls 4 verticals, in route's wide open, right? We have to keep that in mind. When you think you have 4 verticals bagged, and the majority of the time you do, that in route is what they want. And that's exactly what Boogs hit me with right there. Really easy gain for him. We're back in match though. Spread D-line. He's calling this is 4 verticals again. And we are sprinting out. He pass leads this player inside, almost gets it. It's hard to make that read though, especially because it's a streak and not a slot fade. This one's hard to pass lead inside. The quarter's kind of there. If you pass lead it too far down, it would have been a pick. So a really weird read. Now right here, we're in that Mabel hook again. We're going to utilize this 3-rec, cover everything we can. You can see, this is what I mean. This hook is shaded underneath, taking away the drag, right? Great. This hook is shaded up, taking away the post. It's actually genius, okay? Very underrated tactic, the Mabel hook, okay? And you can see we completely cage him and he has to throw the ball away, right? So right here, we're going to run probably, a very basic Texas 4-man. He audibles to normal. I'm going to keep this shell, to be honest. Yeah, I know myself. I'm going to keep that shell. That's fine. We kind of want to cover 3 on that side. We run a 10-yard hard flat here, so we stem it up. Just so if he does run a comeback or a short crosser, we're going to end up being able to play it. And he'll also come down on the drags pretty effectively. You can see, boom, boom, everything's well covered. He's going to have to throw the ball away again. Once again, playing great pass D. 4th and 10 at this point. We are running the same thing. Cover 3 to the right, cover 2 to the left. We are running the Texas 4-man because if he's in base pro, especially in YF trips, it can't come in. Texas 4-man comes in instantly. He doesn't have a chance. He doesn't have a chance. We were covering the post and the drag. We're doing pretty good on the coverage side of things, but the Texas 4-man comes in instantly, and we're able to get a stop that way. Now, this is a great position to be in. Up 2 possessions against this scheme is great, especially with 2 minutes left, because he has to pass. He's not going to be able to run HP direct inside zone down the field because it's going to waste too much time. He didn't see the wide open streak, overthrows the running back. So he's trying to hit this 4 verticals play. Chances are we're going to deal with a little bit more post slant. This is just a cover 4 with the hook. We're on everything we can, trying to make that tackle inbounds, keep the clock running. The audibles to bunch X nasty. Cover 3 to the left, cover 2 to the right. This is the most common defense in the game. This is one literally everyone's in. Literally everyone. And this is the crab route combo. Drag, return, crosser, streak, crab, right? Super basic. He throws the return. The return's wide open. I don't even think I had the hook curl there. Right here, we're in short side, Y off trio. Not exactly sure why. We're going to run our basic match. Do a pretty good job. He throws it directly into coverage. But our guy was not looking at it because he was in man or match. But just take a look. This was actually a pretty wonky one. I actually want to see it a few times. Boom. We switch to Skinner. We pull in to go play the Texas. He throws his Texas. This doesn't look like a good read, but I guess it kind of is because the man coverage was playing someone else. So he hits it. Despite it looking, not great. 1st and 10. We're just going to call it Texas 4-man, Mabel hooks. Boom. He has the wheel wide open. And right there, I don't think I shaded underneath the hook. So we're kind of playing the same thing. Right here, man up circle. And we are trying to play everything we can. Hits us with the table because we couldn't get out there. Now we're going to try to blitz him here. Hopefully it works out in our favor. We're blitzing left. We're looping. And we are covering literally everything. And he would have thrown it directly at us. Unfortunately, we did not get the pick. You see what I mean? Every time he doesn't get it off, could have been a pick. We are running match again. We're Texas 4-manning because we've had success. It's just man up here. And you're going to see... Hopefully, snaps ball. The wheel is not open. We're going to play this running back best we can, cover the slant. Everything's caged. He was probably throwing us another pick. Did not look open. And right here, 3rd and 10. This one, we're playing great defense against this Y-off trio, Y-off trips style of offense. You're going to see we are in man coverage, sending 2. He audibles to normal Y-off close. Right here, we're probably going to run a version of man with curl flats because that's what we wanted before. Yeah, this is really good defense. We're shaded outside. We have 2 curl flats taking away anything, deep to the sideline. And then we have the hook curl over the middle if he has a curl or something attacking, this area of the field. Now he's going to snap the ball. Probably PA snag, if I were to guess. Our curl flat blitzes for some reason. I think it's because I pinched my linebackers. And unfortunately, take a look at what happened here. You guys were probably looking at my user. At least that's where I was looking. And I was looking that way in-game. That corner cooked Hufanga so badly that Hufanga then bumped into the curl flat, making this the most wide open touchdown of all time. Despite shading outside, maybe we should have route committed outside. Tough scene. So he's going to go for 2 here, and he's going to run basically the same combo. Now, something I like when people go for 2, especially if they have a mobile quarterback, I'll just spy the DT. Although he's not the fastest, it prevents them from just stepping up and getting an easy TD. So we're all over everything. We send him, and he catches that. Luckily for us, however, we are offensive masterminds. And we run more trips X nasty, even though we're on 4th and 3. Game on the line. Up 6. But if obviously he scored, we were kind of cooked. All we need is a first. What do we call? A streak. And he switches down to take the delay. Despite the delay being covered by the vert hook and matched, he switches down. And you're going to see the delay route might have been open late. Yeah, it would have been open here. He switches down. And as a result, we see it. We see the streak and we grab it. We possession catch it. And that ends the game. So overall, could have definitely played better against the direct and inside zone, but when it came to when he passed the ball, we played elite level defense. But if you're looking for a cheesy offense that has been taking over Mutt, Regs, whatever it ends up being, I highly recommend you guys try the Bears offense. And if you're looking for a video on my Trips X Nasty and kind of how it's evolved, right, the final evolution of it, even though I think it's going to evolve all the way into Madden 27. But the final evolution of it, click the video on screen right here. One of my favorite videos against an elite level player in Decroft. You guys will really enjoy it. But that's the Bears offense, the HB Direct offense, the Y-Up Trips offense, the Bears Tour, whatever you want to call it. Great game against Bugs, and he runs this at an extremely high level.